into the courtroom that we saw Richard Allen's family come in. Actually, Judge Gall was pretty frustrated. She wanted everybody right there. And she said, all right, we're back on the record. Where is Mr. Rosie? Andrew Baldwin said he's downstairs with the family. She said, let's get him up here right away. And as soon as they came into the courtroom, that's when the jury was asked to come in. And again, it was...
In terms of just the two sets of charges in general, I think we can expect consecutive sentences. If you think about it just purely from a fairness standpoint, these were two separate lives that were lost. These were two separate girls that were died, and they do not deserve to have these sentences to be purged. And I think the judge will likely see it that way. So whether she decides to give the minimum of 45 per young lady or the maximum of 65 per young lady, I think that we'll see that they will be consecutive sentences. Now, where it gets a little bit complicated is that those four charges, he can't necessarily be sentenced separately on each of the four charges because they would have to merge together so that there's not double jeopardy. So he's not being convicted twice for the same conduct, or not convicted twice, but sentenced twice for the same conduct. So we won't see a scenario where he gets 45 to 65 times 4. It would be 45 to 65 times 2 in either case.
All right, we'll get back to Katie and get more legal analysis coming up, but we want to take you back outside the Delphi Courthouse and see and talk to Anne Marie Tiernan and Emily Longnecker.
Scott, I'm also here with Bob Siegel, who was in the courtroom when that verdict was read. We were talking about the family, the defense team. I mean, what were their movements as they were coming in, waiting to determine what was the panel's decision?
Yeah, it was about a half an hour from the time that that the media was invited into the courtroom. Richard Allen was already in the courtroom at the time, so was the entire prosecution team. Andrew Baldwin was there with his hand on the shoulder of Richard Allen, trying to comfort him. The families were there, Abby and Libby. It was not until actually after the judge came back into the courtroom that we saw Richard Allen's family come in. Actually, Judge Gall was pretty frustrated. She wanted everybody right there. And she said, all right, we're back on the record. Where is Mr. Rosie? Andrew Baldwin said he's downstairs with the family. She said, let's get him up here right away. And as soon as they came into the courtroom, that's when the jury was asked to come in. And again, it was so fast. Literally, I don't think the jury was actually in the courtroom for more than 3 minutes total. And the judge immediately, as soon as the jury was seated, do you have a verdict? Foreman said yes. All right, we're going to read this. Count 1, guilty. Count 2, guilty. 3, 4, guilty. Polled all the jurors to make sure that was in fact their verdict. She said, thank you very much. The jury was excused. And again, 3 minutes, it was extremely fast.
And now presumably traveling, getting their items from where they've been sequestered at a hotel and moving back home to Allen County after having nearly a month-long of service for this trial.
Yeah. And Emily, from being in there almost every day as well, that usually while we're waiting for things to kind of get going, there's a lot of talking and chit-chat in the courtroom. Today, there was not a single word that was uttered. The families, the attorneys, the reporters, the 30 minutes leading up to, during, and after. It was not until the judge left, but there you could hear a pin drop in that courtroom.
I felt like you could hear a pin drop the day of those closing arguments. When those closing arguments ended and the state...
Yeah, you probably could hear a pin drop. No, I'm not. I'm not asleep.
That one day she wanted to grow up and help police.
Hold on. I see y'all in chat. My kids, no, I'm not asleep. Christian, you hear Neil snoring in the back, guys. Sorry. I'm awake. I'm not asleep. It's Neil, and I'm not asleep. It's Neil. Sorry. No, I'm watching this with you guys. I'm sorry.
Solve crimes, and she did that this time, and she brought her
my
friend
son's
Abby
right here behind me.
And I remember that afternoon, it was very, very silent. Usually people would leave the courtroom kind of talking, and no one.
Yeah, Neil, I'm wide awake. It's Neil. He's got a cold. He's sick, which he already snores anyway. But hold on, I do want to show y'all this video too. I was going through this one right here. Let's see what what's her name, Banfield, has to say. I'm looking for at least. Is there one news anchor? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm awake, guys. My son's asleep. Is there one news anchor that's against this? Oh my Lord. Yeah, it don't matter. Ain't nobody going to believe me anyway. Nobody ever does. But here, let's watch this one.
So with that, I want to bring in my panel. Susan Hendricks is a longtime TV.
I disagree with that. They did not get it right. All right, can you guys hear it now? I went over there and kind of shook him. Oh, he's starting to snore again. I went over there and shook him. I call him a little teddy bear. It's a Shure microphone. It's a Shure microphone.
You can't describe it. I was trying to describe it to my parents. You have to run in. You don't really get it. And this is... But Judge Gall, she wanted to leave out the circus, but you can't do that by locking the doors. You're absolutely right. This like Lord of the Flies every single day. That's half the day. Then you get in, and you don't want to complain about it because the families are there. I digress. I think they got it right. I was outside when it happened, and I got emotional. I thought, guilty. Oh my gosh. So I thought it was coming in a little bit later. And when it...
Yeah, is there anybody that's going to call it out that they didn't even let his wife come in there? Does anybody else think that, does anybody else not think that that's horrible? You're not going to let
why would they not let his wife come in there? Why would you be like, okay, we're going to do the verdict at 3:00, and then 2:18, is everybody here? Oh, he's guilty, and you don't even let his wife come in? I heard she wasn't allowed to go in there, or she didn't make it in there in time. Somebody told me she didn't make it in there, y'all. She did make it. We got to make sure, because there's people that were there saying that the wife didn't make it in there. So did she get to see it? Justice Jane, are you good? Are you good? Like, you have been. Listen, I know that we don't have the same opinion on this case, but you kind of been like, are we good? I don't understand why you're being so snarky towards me. What in the world is going on? I can, like, seriously, guys. I'll watch it, Bob. I think you know what, y'all? I'm gonna go ahead and end it out. I'm gonna start listening to my instincts when I feel like the night's off. I need to listen to that instinct of mine, and I just not go live on the nights that I feel like, because it's been really fucking weird tonight. Like, are we not going to be able to talk about true crime anymore? Because I mean, if that, I'll change genres before I go through this every single live stream. I'm not going to sit there and fight with people every stream over a case. What in the world, y'all? You know what? I'll just start going back on members only for a while until things die down. I think that's the best thing to do, because it's just I've seen it, Muscles. It has. Muscle says it's been brutal tonight. Some can have opinions, but not others. It's been weird. Right. I don't understand this. What is going on? Like, I don't understand it. No, it's fine to be passionate, but what I've seen tonight, excuse me, what I've seen tonight from people is just like, I'm just going to say this. If you don't like me, then why come to my channel? Why? I don't understand it. If I don't like somebody, I don't go to their channel and talk and take part in their channel. It defies all that I've seen. It's like, people can't decide whether they want to be here or they don't. But they're like halfway in between. I don't like you, but I like your channel. I don't know what it is. But like but seriously, at this point, I'm going to seriously just probably fucking I don't even know. I don't even know. Y'all, I'm at this point where it's just not even, it's too much. Y'all can, I appreciate the people that are here and that actually, like this channel and like me for what I do. But if it's like this every day, like, good night, y'all.
Getting their items from where they've been sequestered at a hotel County after having nearly a month-long service.
This house is clear.